Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Heart Next Door podcast. I'm your host, Tarani, and as you know, we explore beauty and the not so beautiful parts of maternal health and family wellness. And today I have an incredible guest. I'm so honored to have her. Everyone, welcome. I'd love to introduce you to Jordan.
Hey girl.
Nice to see you, right?
I'm so happy to be here.
Yes,
thanks for having me,
Of course, so thankful and honored to have you. You are another incredible connection that I can attribute and give thanks to for Black Tech Saturday.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Love BTS.
Right, yes, because I remember when we met maybe about a few months ago, and ever since then, you've just been a connection that I really appreciate. I love your spirit, your aura, and I know that you contribute so much to the community, especially from the youth lens and as related to maternal health too, right? Because moms need that care too for their kids. So that's
kids grow
part
up.
of it. Exactly, right? Yeah. So tell us just a little bit more about you and your background.
Yeah, sure. So my life's work has involved working with youth, and most of that has been through the lens of environmental justice and really getting young people outdoors, whether it be urban gardening, whether it be water related issues, and getting out doing boating, sailing, and other fun extracurricular activities, but really drawing that connection between young people being out in nature and how there's wellness in that space, connecting with the environment, the natural environment, how that can bring about wellness. And with that, I also work for SMART, which is the transit authority of the bus company, SMART Bus. So I'm an advocate for transit, like I said, as well as which kind of we drew a connection on why I really wanted to be a part of this conversation was I'm an auntie, I'm a TT specifically. And I'm representing all the, the rich aunties. We
love the rich aunties.
You know what I mean? Like every, community, every family needs, a rich auntie to really pour in to the babies. And I have a 3-year-old niece who we're like totally locked in. And I've just been a really big part of her life since she came out the womb, and being a big part of my sister, who's a 26-year-old woman. I'm in my 30s. Just really assisting with giving relief. Giving relief to mothers, specifically my sister, and I have other mothers in my community of friends that I may babysit for, or be that play date partner for, and that's why I really wanted to be a part of this podcast, because I wanted to be able to talk about the importance of the village and how the aunties and the uncles, we're holding up families and giving our support and our love to our relatives and people outside of our family to ensure that people aren't having breakdowns, because that's a very real thing, mental health, especially for African American people. A lot of people are really struggling right now, and then having your own personal struggles on top of having a child that you have to be fully attentive to and immersed in their life. I do see a lot of women in particular being depleted, and just kind of trying to catch their breath, through everything. So it's been a blessing that I, as an auntie, have a little more disposable time, so I can step in and be a rock for people who need it.
Wow, that is so good, Jordan. Listen, all the moms be the Jordan, the rich auntie. No, seriously, because and it's just so funny you said that, because it's also so timely, because that's the whole concept. I think that even just talking about and thinking about the evolution of this platform, like the Heart Next Door, like going from sharing my story and just realizing that, exactly like you said, so many moms, including myself, struggle with feeling so depleted sometimes, because motherhood is so consumed, so nonstop sometimes, especially when you don't have a village, you know, around you, right? And I can say that personally, like moving out of state and choosing to raise a family away from my own family, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a lot, and I think that it's been such a relief. Like even just this weekend, my mom and my grandma are here. Like, you know, even just going through this journey and like having friends like you who are like, no, you need a break. What can I do for you? Like it's just such a relief, and it changes everything. You don't. So I just want to thank you for you know stepping in and being that for so many women, including your sister. I know she really appreciates.
Oh my God, yes. And to your point, so I was talking to a friend who, a good chunk of my friends do have children, and I was talking to one of them, and my sister, she needed some time to spend with her partner, and it was her birthday weekend, so of course we were going to take my niece, and when I say we, I'm talking about me and my mom.
Yeah.
We typically tag team because I do believe it's a 2-person job.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yes.
So, you know, we were going to take her for the weekend, and I just remember completely being all consumed with my niece and all that other stuff. And then after the weekend was over, because one thing that I do for myself is solo dates. Once a week. Yeah, that's
once a week.
Once a week.
Wow.
It's something that I do. Yes,
Okay.
it's a staple, and I hope that some mothers can
Yes.
take that, even if it's like once a month or
Mm-hmm.
you know every 2 weeks, because that time alone is just so crucial.
Wow,
You
but you
know?
have to break that down because I've never. I'm trying to think. Have I ever? I don't think I've ever been on a solo date, and I feel like, or at least I've heard people share that there's this, you know, like, how do you go out by yourself? You know, what do you do? Or like, can you break down some of that and what inspired you to take that time for yourself?
Absolutely. So first off, I'm about to put people on.
Please.
There's this book called The Artist's Way. And it's a spiritual guide to higher creativity by Julia Cameron. And the premise of the book is that, you know, your higher power, whoever you believe in, God or whatever that may be, lives inside of us. And God is the ultimate creator. God is the ultimate artist, so to speak. So essentially that you know, that artistic ability lives naturally inside of us. And for us not to create is very literally, how can I say,
Counterintuitive.
it's counterintuitive to being a human on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Like, and that's where things like purpose come in, and you know, essentially manifesting the life that you want for yourself. Like, this is our lives, right? And we are the creators of it. You know, we are the painters of this picture of our lives. So what she does in the book is, I think it was based off a like a 12-week program, but 2 things that she keeps steady throughout the entire book are morning pages, which is writing 3 pages in the morning of just brain dump, and they call it stream of consciousness. So whatever is on your mind, just as soon as you wake up, 3 pages. And then there's the once a week solo date. And the solo date is literally you doing whatever it is you want to do by yourself. And granted, like, say if you go to dance class, there'll be people there, or you know, water aerobics, there'll be people there, but it's literally about your desire, what you want to do, and not having a partner or somebody to do that. And honestly, what inspired me to that was the fact that I realized that, like, how much of my life is about me and what I want. You know, like how much, like, aside from work, aside from, you know, all the roles we play, I'm a mother, I mean, not a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm a, you know, all of these things, I'm a mentor.
You're still a maternal figure.
Yes, yeah, oh, very much so. Like, and then I have mentees too, so I like mother them. But with all those roles that I play, how much of my life is for me? And you
gotta stop right there.
You know,
I feel that.
Let that sit. Let that marinate. You know.
Wow, how much of my life is for me? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, with me really kind of looking at things, and you know, by the end of the week you're tired, or maybe you do have some obligations and meetups and things, business things that you want to do. I just realized, like, you know, these solo days, they're not just about me doing what I want to do, but it's about me really getting to know myself.
Yeah.
And like, what do I like?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm giving my time back to myself, what would I do?
Yeah.
You know, am I gonna take a pottery class?
Yeah.
Will I learn to crochet?
Yeah.
Do I want to do pole dancing? Which
Mm-hmm.
you know, is something that I do.
Yes.
But I've really been impressing it even upon my sister, who she's 26. She's a young mother,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, the monotonous go to work,
Yeah.
come home, cook the dinner, watch the TV, play with the baby for a minute, gotta give your partner some time.
Yeah.
That cycle
Yeah.
is like, it can deaden you
Mm-hmm.
on the inside. And we really have to be more intentional about infusing our joy into every piece of our lives. But one small way to do that is by taking yourselves on dates.
Wow, I love that. So much of that I love, especially just the way that you simplify it, because I think, especially as a mom or somebody who's like, especially feels so inundated sometimes just with all the responsibilities, and like you said, you can get stuck into the cycle. From the inside looking out, it's hard to see like, oh no, I could never do that. I could never, just, it seems like self-care or, joy, finding joy in that way seems like such a huge step to take from what your current existence is.
Yeah.
But for you to say it can be just as simple as you taking time for yourself,
Yeah.
one day a week,
Yeah.
and sticking to that steady routine, making that small commitment to yourself will make a big difference. And I also love that you shared just about the book, The Artist's Way, and it reminds me so much of this book that I've done reading it, but I feel like I'll never be done reading it because I loved it so much. Yeah. It's called Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Well, first off, Joe Dispenza is that guy. Has always been that guy. And I follow him.
The book, like
religiously almost.
Changed my whole life.
Yeah.
Every morning, every evening, like I've become into a routine, and it's just
being supernatural, huh?
Yes, becoming supernatural. And
I love that.
Yeah, and I think that also ties to a quote that I'll never forget. Like, I think about it every single day ever since I started reading that book, because I wanted to make a conscious decision to pour into myself, but also in this season I feel like I'm evolving, not just as a mom but as a woman, you know? And it can be overwhelming to think like, okay, I have these big goals, I see what I would like my life to become, but how do I get there? And so one quote from the book, it says, and she just kept going one day at a time until she became someone else.
Yes, yeah.
And it's just like, that's exactly what it is. And so I love that. So thank you for sharing that. And I would love for you to just share with us, touch about like the nature element, the nature piece. I know a lot of your work is interconnected in that way. So is it specifically that you work with youth in nature, or just in general you feel like, where does that importance of nature come into you?
Yes. So my life is all about like nature and being outside. Like, I honestly rather like, and this is, I have to phrase this correctly because I don't want God to not hear me correctly, but I enjoy not having a roof over my head in that way. You know what I mean? Like, I still want my roof over my head, but I enjoy, you know what I mean? Because think about it. We're in the car 24/7, and then you get into the building, and then it's like, well, how much time is the sun on your skin? How much time are you breathing the fresh air? Like, it's all this filtered air conditioned air in the car, in the house, so how much are you really touching grass, like they say, you know what I mean? And I feel like it's really easy to get out of touch with what's important when you don't literally go out and touch grass and ground yourself. So a practice that I do have with my niece in the summertime, we just do it at, well, first off, she's like most kids are, a park girl. Like every day is, Cece, are we gonna go to the park? Are we going to the park? And it's like, okay, yes, every day we're going to the park, right? So that's our thing. But in the summertime, I'm very intentional about like us taking our shoes off and like literally putting our feet in grass. We typically, I have 2 yoga mats out, we'll do yoga, and she has a great time just kind of mimicking poses that I'm doing. But just that opportunity to be present without the screen time, and literally just running around barefoot is so healing. And for me, so I'll talk about the youth piece, but for me, it really just gets me in touch with what's important at the core of it. Like, in truth, like, if you have your health and like your basic needs met, like, you're good, and you're actually beyond good. You're great, because there's so many people who are not even meeting that mark. And especially with us being in a time of social media where the goalpost is constantly getting pushed back because we're watching everybody else live their best life. Disconnecting. Like, I'm actually on a social media fast now.
Good for you.
No, every once in a while I disconnect completely.
Yes, that's good.
And I love it. I never miss it. I never miss it. But just that, pulling away from like the digital reality and the cell phones and the computer is just so powerful. And being amidst God's creations and appreciating the sun, the trees, the wind, the animals, and the beautiful thing about it, so I do live in downtown Detroit. I do live off of the Riverwalk, so I do have access to the water, which has played a big role in my life. Water, because I do, I do facilitate young people learning about the history of the Detroit River, as well as boating and sailing. But with us being, and this is the thing, like, there's bodies of water all over, everywhere, right? So you don't necessarily have to live next to a body of water to be connected to the water, which is source. It's a part of source. God created it, so it's a part of it. But it's something so healing and calming. Even there's actual studies out there that just looking at water can actually calm down your nervous system. Just looking at it. So, like, when my niece is like, Titi, I want to go see the water, or she literally now, because we've given a name to it, she's like, I want to go see the Detroit River. And this is her 3-year-old self, and I just be so like blown away at her, how she's making the connection that the Detroit River is like, it's almost like belongs to her. You know what I mean? So with the young people, I just find it to be so important to embed connection with nature and spending time out in nature in young people at a very young age, because this is the very thing that will allow us to ground ourselves and stop people from crashing out. You know what I mean? Because the crashing out is a lot of times it's in the head. It's all in your head. And when you're grounding and you're allowing your feet to sink into the earth, or you're allowing the sun to get to you, even moonlight get to you, what it does is it, like I said, it foundationally, how can I say, brings some stabilization to your nervous system, your root chakra, which is all about stability, safety, and all of those things, so that you're not all in here. Your energy is dropping down into your body, and it's like, okay, I'm breathing, I'm taking in the beauty of the earth, and it's like, okay, all is well with my soul. Even if it ain't, you're alive to be able to experience these very simplistic moments that let us know that, no, this is real life. This is not real life. This is not real life. This is real life.
Wow, that's beautiful. And it reminds me too, I think it was a documentary that was just talking about like the state of where we are as a society, like humanity, in terms of our health and whatnot, and just how it's so crazy how we've structured society, especially in the US and like in big cities, where the things that could heal us, like we try to find our healing by paying for things that God has already given us naturally, right? So like we invest so much money in our gym memberships and like in healthcare, when you could go outside and ground yourself and get so many of those benefits that you're chasing through those other avenues. You can get them naturally from nature. So I think that is so beautiful, and I could not agree with that more. And wow, thank you. So one question I always love to ask, especially on this platform, is about legacy. And so I'm curious, from your vantage point, as we come to a close after a couple more questions, what does legacy mean to you as someone nurturing future leaders through your programs and your mentorship?
Legacy, what does that mean to me? I would say, for my specific legacy, and just kind of like a little bit of background, I'm Detroit born and raised. Grew up in the 90s.
And you went to Renaissance.
And I went to Renaissance High School.
You're a Renaissance woman.
Yeah, I am a Renaissance woman. I do a lot of things. Like I said, mainly community based though, so that's like my call to action where I feel connection. In the 90s, when I was growing up here in Detroit, it wasn't, how can I say, it wasn't this beautiful metropolis that it is now. Like, I was talking to some friends, like, I remember riding downtown and I literally saw like a dirty like trash bag kind of like blowing through the wind like it was tumbleweed. Like literally, like we were the only people downtown. Like, and that's why back in the day people used to like do donuts and go crazy, driving and doing just doing like crazy young stuff because it literally was nowhere. I mean, nobody there, like no police, no people, nothing. So now that this place has evolved and been reinvested into, in that space, I feel like I've always been proud to be of Detroit because you know, that meant that, you know, I was a hustler, I was tough, you know, had some grit, could get through anything. Those were the things, the reasons why I was proud. But I would always go to other places and just always like never want to leave and then be like, oh, it's so much nicer here, you know? And I don't want other young people from here or that live here to feel that way. Like I want them to have a sense of pride in where they're from and really feel connected, you know, to the people and the literal environment. Because Detroit is like unlike any place that I've ever been to in my life, and I've been as far as China and Africa. So like it's really very unique in its landscape, and even just the social, cultural aspect of things. So when it comes to legacy, I really want to instill a sense of pride in young people that come from this place or who are raised here, so that pride, connection, and just overall wellness. Those are probably the things that I want young people to feel that I can pass down to them: pride, connection, and wellness. Because I want them not only to be proud of the fact that they come from this place, but to want to perpetuate more people coming to this place and just making it a place that all of us want to live, you know? So I'm one of the Detroiters who I have yet to leave and go move somewhere else. And a lot of my colleagues, as in like Renaissance people, they went to like Howard, you know, they went to New Orleans, they went to these different out-of-state places to get away from the cold. And although I think that was awesome, I wanted to too. You know what I mean? I got accepted to Howard and didn't go. But, you know, I wanted to leave too. But I've come to the realization that some of us do have to stay.
For sure.
Some of us do have to stay to make it a better and beautiful place, and that will attract more people to come to the city. So, I just want young people to feel connected and supported here in Detroit.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
And that's exactly what you're doing.
No, I try. I try.
That's exactly what you're doing, for sure. So just thank you so much for just not only what you do for youth and the community and for your sister.
It's a couple of mamas that I support now, like,
and all of us,
you know what I mean? Like, because I'm quick to grab my niece and be like, come on, we got a play date here, we got a play date here, we got a play date here, because I know the play dates, you know, save lives. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, parents need to be able to connect with other adults, allow their children to run free in safe environments where there's other eyes paying attention, and they're, you know, not alone.
Because it takes a village, like
it
you
really
said.
does.
So thank you so much. That's such a beautiful message, and I know everyone listening really, really appreciates that. So if you do not have a village, you know, I think this is a powerful way of just maybe taking a different approach and saying that maybe your village is not as far away as you think, you know, because there's always people around you. So thank you so much. Tell everybody where they can connect with you and learn more about all the great work you're doing.
Sure. So on LinkedIn, I'm just Jordan Irving on LinkedIn. So I'm taking the social media.
Yeah,
but,
good.
People can follow me at Yoga Diva 5. I'm also a certified yoga instructor. So I typically infuse a lot of that into the work that I do.
Wow.
But something I just thought of, shameless plug to you, is that was the reason why you created the app, right?
Exactly.
You know, it's the village, but at fingertips, teeps reach. Which is I thought was just so brilliant of you to think of that. But I appreciate that, because there are so many women and people they're coming to Detroit, and we want y'all here. We want y'all to feel supported when you come here, because now you're a part of the fabric of this space, right? So like, so much thanks to you for creating this digital hub where people can, women and specifically Black women, can feel supported even if they're not from this place and maybe, like you said, don't have the support they need. So kudos to you, girl.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for listening. We'll see you next time on Her Next Door.